Good evening.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Are you doing your fanned hands?
It's jazz hands.
Jazz hands. That's what I thought. That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
It's Jazz Hands Saturday.
How are you today, Revolution
I'm good.
RoadRanger?
How are you, Honey Badger?
I can't complain. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm just kind of, relaxing. Been relaxing a lot.
It has been. You know what? And it's good to see your little badger face.
Thank you.
And look, it's Nana. Road Ranger Nana.
Hi, Nana.
There she is doing the Queen's wave.
So, what's the juicy gossip today?
Well, I have to say that we're going to start off talking about the Arizona audit because, and this is, I got this article off. Well, let me share my screen. I guess I could do that. Boop in a boop. I hope everybody's having a wonderful.
Yeah, I hope everyone's having a nice weekend. The weather in most cases is really nice. So I'm hoping everyone's getting some R&R. Absolutely.
So we're going to visit, this is the actual filing, and this is dealing with the stop order or filing from the Arizona Democratic Party against cyber ninjas. And so part of this filing, and I'm not an attorney. I play one on TV, but I'm not really good at it. Okay.
Right.
So apparently there is an exhibit D9 and D10 that contains security information regarding the actual audit of the votes by cyber ninjas.
It's their like secret sauce, basically. It's how they do
It's just the plan of how they're doing it, and this is probably something that had to be included with the filing against the AZ Democratic Party. It came up, it was relevant. So this exhibit D9 and D10 was included in this filing, and it deals with the security and Arizona
process,
security overview. Yes. And both parties had agreed that this exhibit D9 especially should be sealed and only for the eyes of the attorneys involved. So both parties agreed that this exhibit was proprietary. And the court asked that that cyber ninjas file. They had a deadline, a motion
at noon.
At noon, and on April 29th, 58 minutes prior, the counsel for cyber ninjas emailed the following to the court's judicial assistant, and 3 minutes later, she responded and said received. And so they met their deadline to seal the security document, sensitive security information.
Per the court order, yes.
Per the court order. Lo and behold, that night, it's on the 10 o'clock news at around 10:12 on ABC 15. They published an article describing details of Exhibit D9. And this is under Judge Martin, who again was appointed by a Democratic governor and was appointed by Pam Gates, who's the wife of the county supervisor, Bill Gates. And they are anti-audit. So somehow or other, even after making the deadline, this document was still released on the news.
Yeah, so it was probably someone on the Democratic side, and they leaked it to the press, and they're just playing as dirty as possible.
Correct.
They're just playing as dirty as possible because they're doing everything in their power to stop this, and it's not stopping. It's there, which I'll get into in a couple minutes. I have some more update on their progress, but this is just dirty pool.
So they're asking for a quick status conference to discuss further. And this is something that, they want to get together with the judge and figure out exactly what happened.
What happened? They'll play stupid. I don't know what happened. I have no idea.
I don't know what happened.
Exactly. It's like, oh, I never did that.
I
I don't know what this is.
Yeah. They'll just lie. They'll just lie.
So it also appeared, 7-page plan appeared on the website of the court Thursday. So this was available for anyone to view and download.
Oh my word.
And, you know, I'm not sure exactly what the severity or what the fallout could be from this. I have no idea what was in it. I guess everyone in Arizona knows. But anyway, just kind of dirty.
Very dirty. And you know what? Yeah, get your seatbelt on, because you probably heard too that the Democrats, there's two groups. One's the Brennan group, and then there's another Democratic group, part of the DC swamp, that is petitioning the Department of Justice to get the federal government involved in Arizona state's election, or recount, I should say. So they're trying to get the feds involved
in a state election.
A state election
jurisdiction,
which is totally illegal. It's none of their concern. It's none of their business. It's not their playground. The Arizona state has its own rules, its own constitution. They're doing everything by the book, and the people wanted this forensic recount. And so that I don't believe, the last time I looked on Twitter through the Republican committee, they're trying to get the feds involved, but it's, to date, there's no update. So I mean, hopefully if they go by the rules, then that's not going to happen. But you always have to think, okay, what can they don't play by the rules. No. They do what the hell they want. So stay tuned. This is far from over. And another thing that I was reading today is that they're increasing the number of counting stations.
Really? So, they have until May 14th. So
that's another update I have. So they currently have 20 stations. Here, let me show my screen. I have an article that I'll pull up to talk about this, but they currently have 20 counting stations, and they are in the process of, wait, maybe I don't have it on. I guess I don't. Sorry. I thought I had it open. I think
okay.
Let me stop sharing my screen.
That's right. I'll remove it. I got it. No worries. Hi, first of all,
I'm kind of out of it right now.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Melinda. Hi, Aaron. I'm kind of out of it. You know, one thing that I've done for the last 24 hours. My God, what is that?
I don't know. It could be.
That sounds like a wolf.
I'll mute.
No, it's fine. It's just that dog is terrible.
He's annoying. It's Road Ranger's Ranger pup. He must be saving. What is it, little Timmy? Is Timmy in the well? Yes, Timmy's in the well. Go, Road Ranger pup.
He's protecting you from someone, the bad YouTube people. So what I've done in the last 24 hours is I've turned off the news. I haven't really paid a lot of attention like I usually do. I've just like detoxed myself. And it's been really nice, actually. It's been really nice. It's like, so before this show, I did some research, a couple hours of research.
Then the anger comes back.
Yeah, it just burns you out for sure.
It does.
But what I was saying is that they currently have 20 counting stations, and they are increasing that to 46. And yeah, 46. So that's over double, and they're working on getting more people from temp agencies to come in and do this counting, and they want this, I think he said 3 shifts. So there's going to be more hours, more people, and more counting stations. Now, reportedly, then there has been reports saying that they have until May 14th, but the article that I was reading, that yes, they have until the 14th, But they knew when they reserved the space in the Veterans Coliseum in downtown Phoenix that they had until the 15th, but they had to break for 5 days because there's like 18 high school graduations that are scheduled.
Oh, no.
But
Yeah.
that's only 5 days. There's 18 graduations in 5 days. So after, they're saying, well, we can go to other parts of the building and continue to count during during the graduation process, or we might just give everyone a break for 5 days, 4 or 5 days, right? And then they're going to come back after graduation. So there's no deadline.
Good.
They have the facility after the graduation.
It was more the facility. It's not the state.
Right.
mandate.
Exactly. There's no deadline. Yeah. I mean, this is uncharted territory. So yeah, there's no, so that was really interesting. And then, there has been reports of people, and I would do this if I was a volunteer. People are covering their license plate number, or they're somehow taking their license plate off while they're parked. Because there have been a lot of press, a lot of media, and there's been reports of BLM people there harassing, taking pictures of license plates and wanting to see people badges. So that's going on.
Take a burner phone too, and the Unrig tour edition that got censored and shut down. I think part of that was because we were talking about the steps that people need to take in order to protect themselves. So
all right, well, don't say it again.
I'm not going to say it again. But you get the point, okay?
Yeah, right. No, this is serious thing. This is serious business. People, I mean, those people are patriots. They're definitely patriots doing this, even though, some of them are being paid, but they're still sticking their neck out. And, and, there's a threat. And also I need to correct something. One of the last shows I said, I quoted 1,000 lawyers that all the Dems are bringing in, 1,000 lawyers into Arizona, but I've also heard 100 lawyers. So I just wanted to put that out there. I didn't know. I don't know. I've heard 1,000. I've heard 100. So, but they're still being, they're playing shenanigans. They're playing games.
Aaron is saying that Jimmy Kimmel criticized the audit. Well, I expect these people. These are exactly the people, if you know what I mean. These are exactly the people that we suspect of pizza parties.
Exactly. Oh my God.
So
I mean, really
has no weight. Yeah, has no weight. These are all pizza parties.
It's typical. It's typical, definitely. But what else do you have? Because I think the tide is turning with some of the mainstream newspapers out there, like the Washington Post and the New York Times.
Well, I specifically was looking at CNN today because that to me is more important than an Epoch Times or whatnot. And, there were really just a few things that I noted on CNN. And I'll go ahead and share my screen. So one of the articles is Republican state lawmakers look to empower partisan poll watchers, setting off alarms about potential voter intimidation. And really, it looks like we've got a group of right-wing people that are going. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says he's going to sign. Texas, probably Oklahoma. These are people that are wanting to work on behalf of candidates and political parties to get nonpartisan people in there that are close enough to actually, watch the polling. And I don't see why that would cause anyone to feel that there's intimidation. I think that they're probably worried that maybe, people of color might feel intimidated about that. But there have also been polls where there were I'll say Black Panther people out front and harassing people. This was probably in 2012. 20, I don't think so much in 2016, but I mean, there have been, I mean, a history of this happening. So just by having partisan, poll watchers, I can't imagine that would be intimidation. And these are really people that are counting the mail-in ballots. So,
I mean, if that's, oh my goodness, that's just what they scream. Just like they just scream voter depression, which when there's no such thing. It's just make believe. It's all make believe. Well, there's no voter depression or oppression.
If someone's in there watching the poll process, they need to be protected from harassment, being kicked out. I mean, there were people who were physically removed from certain polls, physically like pulled out because they asked a question, and the entire group is just cheering and it's a surveillance role. So expect in 2022, it could still be a hotbed, but at least CNN is picking up the story. And I'm just going to go to their homepage so we can kind of just take a look at some of the other headlines.
Okay, go scroll back up. Hang on. Safest activities for the fully V'd. Okay, this does not make any sense.
I almost was I'll open this article, but I decided not to, because I think we're all living our life like none of this even happened at this point. The best place to listen. So, let's see outdoor activities that you can do without a mask. I heard in New York, they're saying that you don't have to wear a mask if you're outdoors and you're walking, but you're at least 6 feet away from people.
Right, that's according to the CDC. The CDC came out with that this past week.
So they're saying, walk, run, bike, attend a small outdoor gathering. Give me a break.
This is all BS.
Dining in an outdoor restaurant? Are you kidding? I mean, Oklahoma has done all this stuff almost. I mean, no.
Well, no. Florida reopened months ago, and their counts are down, and everyone is having a great time. This is just all propaganda, and if people believe what the CDC says, they're delusioned. They're really believing and drinking the Kool-Aid, because the CDC is a private nonprofit, quote unquote, and their main donors are the pharmaceutical companies.
Correct. These are all the things that require a mask here, but even the boxes of the disposable masks says that they don't, because they'd be sued. I'm wearing your mask. How did I get the V? It even states that it will not protect you from the V. And there was a story, I think on Fox News on the main page there, I'll pull this up, or there was something I got earlier showing how many people have gotten, I think there's 9,000 people who got the V after getting the poke, and 124 of them died.
Oh yeah, that's all over the news. Yeah, people are, it's fantasy land. If you think that this poke is going to solve everyone's problems, it's not. They're still going to give us guidelines and tell us what to do. But I don't know, maybe it's just my world. Maybe I live in a different world than anyone, but I don't pay. I mean, I just do what I haven't worn a mask in months. I'm not getting poked, and we're healthy. I mean, it's imaginary land, but people, I guess they believe the media, but I think the majority of people, I feel like the majority of people are waking up. It's just ridiculous. People at where I work are getting poked, and the next day they feel like shit, and they tell me, "Oh, I rather feel like shit for a couple days than get the."
But they still could get it, and that's the
whole
thing.
V. And I don't argue with them. I don't say anything.
Yeah,
I don't say one word. I'm silent because it's work.
Well, you lived in a house with 2 people that did have the V.
Yes.
And 2 people in your household never got it.
Right.
I know several people that had people affected in their house, and everyone was quarantined, working from home, and didn't get it. So it's, it comes down to your immunity. And I think if the doctors had focused on telling people to take vitamins and supplements with vitamin D and boosting their immunity instead of the fear,
exactly,
and focused on our individual immunity, things would have been a lot different. And I take vitamins, you take vitamins, and I know Anonymous Bob had a reduced immune system because of his other health issues, which probably is the only reason why he succumbed, but he's fine.
Yeah, I could go on and on and on. It's just, at this point, it's just exhausting for me. It's just exhausting because we can't, if people are not awake by now, we can't change their minds.
It's all propaganda. Right. I was on a friend's Facebook yesterday, and she was posting something, and somebody started arguing with her about immunity and
oh my God,
the mask and everything. And the only thing I said was, in the very, very, very beginning, Danger Man, Dr. F, they were very adamant. You don't wear a mask. You don't need a mask. They're not going to help. And then all of a sudden, they do. And we know it doesn't. So it's like, which is it? You guys just sheep.
It's flip-flopping. But anyway, you know what? Let me share my screen, because that really dovetails into one of the stories that I wanted to talk about today, which you should say explosive. Washington Post reporter tells Joe Rogan Fauci was behind the Wuhan sea leak. So, and if you Google this line, it's all over the internet. This is not one source. There's multiple sources. Now, I did not have time to go to the Washington Post myself and see this. But this is, in my opinion, this is huge. Where the Washington Post, which is a mainstream publication, reporter Josh Rogan admitted that Dr. F is the top gain of function researcher in the world and could have funded the lab rumored to be responsible for the C. And that has been rumored for a long.
He and Obama.
Exactly. So the U.S. funded this lab in Wuhan and was responsible for this. Was a man-made virus. And but I wanted to address Aaron's. Aaron made some comments. Denmark and Canada, leading COVID surveillance countries. Watch them to know. Yes. So I heard through one of my podcasts that I was listening to, Denmark actually discontinued the AstraZeneca V, but because it had all these side effects and these awful people were dying and getting side effects. So they had the country of Denmark had all of these V's, ready to poke, but they instead of, and then they stopped giving them to their people. Well, then they're selling these leftover vials to third world countries because they have leftover tubes, and I'm being careful how I describe this because I don't want to strike, but they had all these leftover tubes, and instead of destroying them and doing the right thing, they're selling them to third world countries. So Canada leading, so that definitely is a hot spot. And then coffee has chloride and quin pertaining to hydroxychloroquine. That was one of the things that I wanted to talk about. There's ways to make at home your own hydrochloroquine, and we're probably going to get flagged because I said that.
We call it H.
The H. There's recipes out there where you can do this at home, and it costs almost nothing, and it supposedly is good for all kinds of ailments. It's one of those wonder concoctions, and I think the center of the ingredients are orange peel and lemon peel, and you have to boil it and add some ingredients. But yeah, you can make your own. There's a recipe. Well, Aaron knows more than I do. Willow bark in a bucket for 2 weeks. Okay, that's another recipe I have not heard. I've heard you have to just simmer it for a couple hours and put it into a dark room. But there's ways to do it on your own. So.
Well, I think that's interesting, and I'm just going to call it H. But when Mr. T had been talking about H originally, they all poo-pooed it. Everybody poo-pooed it. And again, you have to look and see what they're attacking, what they're saying not to do, who not to what. And because remdesivir is probably one of their investments as well.
Oh, yeah.
And there have been ties of Danger Man to a lot of these big pill companies, and I think that there's a tangled web where they all benefit. And just look at where the conversation goes, and it'll tell you everything.
Yep,
that's very interesting. I want to see that Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far.
Okay,
but it's all over the internet, so it's not easy. It's very easy to find.
He's kind of stayed out of this whole mess, but it looks like maybe he's getting pulled into it now.
Yeah. And another thing, Melinda says that now they're saying chlorine dioxide, MMS. You can actually buy, if you go to like Amazon, you can buy Quinn. Quinn is, to my knowledge, my understanding, one of the main ingredients of hydroxychloroquine. And Quinn you can buy all over the internet, including Amazon, and it's very, very cheap.
Quinine?
I guess it's quinine. Yeah, is that how you pronounce it?
Looks like it.
Yeah, okay. And so Aaron is saying catnip, woodruff, and my fave, Dam's rocket flower are edible. Yeah, we don't need the pharmaceutical companies, guys.
No,
we don't. No, they're in it for they're in it for money.
If you do get sick, then you get sick. And I'm talking about myself. If I got ill and I passed away, then that's my journey. Okay. Don't revive me. It's like I'm not going to be sour apples. That's how it goes, folks. None of us
people die. You just need to maintain your health. You need to maintain your immune system, and inflammation is a big part of your health. If you have inflammation, which I'm guilty of, that is the main cause of disease, is inflammation in your body.
It just needs to be done. Over. Kaput.
I know. Okay, so then another story that I wanted to chat about in regards to just the media in general. This article, the Washington Post and the New York Times retract smear of Rudy Giuliani that falsely claimed FBI gave him defensive briefings on Russian influence ops. Of course,
it's all theater. That whole thing was made up.
Oh, the laptop?
Yeah.
I have Rudy was interviewed on one of these shows recently, and he said that he gave the FBI opportunity to he volunteered
all his devices.
Yeah, it's like, here, take it, and volunteered years ago. But rumor has it the reason why they did this raid on is because he had a video of Mrs. C hanging.
Oh, really?
No.
Really?
This is real raw news.
Okay, well, this is
okay. But again, it's not only this website, it's if you well, I shouldn't say Google it because I don't use Google, DuckDuckGo it. There's several sources that are saying this. So that's the real reason why they seized it, according to this article. Okay, I know.
Last week they said she was yelling at jail guards.
Well, no, during her during her tribunal, yes.
Okay.
No, but
I'm with you.
But supposedly this is what happened. If I click on in this, it's very slow, so I will just give it a second.
I'm going to interject while that's loading. I had heard or read that they were trying to get those devices, even though he'd offered them, because they contain copies of all the Hunter Biden laptop files. Because he has those.
I bet, yeah.
But I mean, maybe, who knows? We don't know, people. I mean,
yeah,
the truth is stranger than fiction.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess April 26th, according to this article, that the hanging took place at 9:05, and they did videotape it, and so
well, I mean, that would be a good incentive for them if that really happened, that they would want that video.
Well, evidently, Rudy was there when it happened. So he was given a video of it.
Wow.
And we were always told that this would be one day when the timing is right, this all would come out and it would be public knowledge. But
well, who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? All right.
Very good.
I have another tidbit of gossip.
Keep going.
Richard Citizen has been allegedly arrested.
I'm not surprised, because he's walking those streets and people do harass him.
Well, he said on his Telegram today that he can't, or it was either today or yesterday. He said, I can't talk about it because of, it's a legal situation, but he will, everything's fine, and it was horrible, but he's gone through worse, and just hang in there. So he's, I don't know why, but this video, you can see
where he's getting arrested.
It looks like he was, I don't know what he did. I don't know that's all I know. If anybody else knows, please chime in. But just the day before, he did on his Telegram channel give us more videos of Washington, D.C., and the barricades are coming up again, and there's multiple buses near the White House. So something's happening again at the White House. Definitely.
Yeah, someone probably called him for trespassing. I'm guessing. Who knows? But I mean, he's a brave person. I mean, he's very brave what he does, going out in the middle of the night and shooting real video.
I love him.
And reporting.
Definitely. Do you have anything? Because I have two more.
No, you do, and then I do have one or two to round it up. So you go.
Okay, so going back to the audit, former special assistant to Trump, Boris Epstein, is saying that a freight train of election audits are coming. And even Mr. T said this over the weekend, recently, that you watch Pennsylvania and Georgia, and even New Hampshire is on that list.
Really?
Yeah, so Boris joined Steve Bannon on the War Room and began discussing the speech. Oh my gosh, did anybody watch that speech?
No.
I couldn't do it. I didn't even want to.
I just wondered if it was CGI. I just, whatever. Not interested.
I'm not interested at all either. I don't even want it. So yeah, so the freight train of election audits are coming.
What side is that?
This is Conservative Brief.
Okay, and but he was on War Room,
but he was on War Room. Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah, this is really good news, guys. And one tidbit of information that I also wanted to talk about a couple episodes ago is that regarding the Arizona audit, that the Dems are really complaining, about security and all. But one point that I wanted to make is the Arizona Senate originally went to the Board of Supervisors in Maricopa County and said, we want to conduct this forensic audit. We will do it at your facility. It's the main Maricopa elections office in downtown Phoenix. And they said, well, we don't have to move the machines. We don't have to move the ballots. We can do everything in your facility. You can watch us. We will go by your rules. And they declined.
Really?
Yeah, they declined. They originally that they didn't want to move anything. They just wanted to conduct the forensic audit, but the Maricopa Board of Supervisors said no. So that's one thing that I forgot to mention.
Well, why make it easier for the auditors? And they don't care where it happens. They just didn't want it to happen, period. So
exactly. They just made it as difficult as possible. They just wanted to put more roadblocks up.
Very interesting.
Okay, so then I have some good news.
Good.
Should I show a good news?
Yeah, do a good news.
Good news. So where did this happen? Oh, Tempe, Arizona. So evidently this little boy's toy tractor was stolen, and the officers pitched in and they replaced the stolen toy tractor.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that nice? I saw that. I'm like, I'm going to talk about that. That's good news.
There is, and it's too bad about what's happening with the cops right now. I mean, there's talk now of not just defunding the police. There's talk of completely removing the police.
Well, that's what they want.
And, there's a story where there's a student in a classroom, a college student, and his teacher, and he mentioned that he thought that police officers were heroes, and his professor went off on him saying they're not heroes. Why would you say, are they all heroes? Well, no, there's always bad people in every bunch. And she went on, she said, that police were formed in the South originally because they wanted people to go and catch runaway slaves. And historically, that is true. That if you want to talk about police, the first, former gathering of people hired, but I don't know that that's police. In Boston in the early 1800s or late 1700s, they had what they considered a police force out watching because of the harbor and the ships. So they hired people to be on a night watch, but then, people would drink or fall asleep on the night watch. So I don't know. I'd have to really look into it. I didn't really want to get into it because
that doesn't sound right.
But I mean, I don't think that police were hunting for runaway slaves. Because police are hired to protect and serve. That's a different definition. Bounty hunter, so they're talking
they had police in England before America even was
hobbies, So I think they're confusing, protect and serve to bounty hunters. That's a different thing. But also if they want to completely get rid of cops, I mean, what about all the people in the jail? Then we have no court system. We have no jails. I mean, this isn't just getting rid of police and having no cars on the street. I mean, we're talking, it would be like the movie The Purge, where anything goes, but forever.
Well,
who thinks that's a good idea?
No one.
Well, they do think it's a good idea. They think that cops are all racist and that white people are racist, and that any white people at this point are, unless they speak up for it and they stop it, then they're racist and they're condoning it. So
yeah. They've been programmed. And
it's
very well.
end up being a racial civil war.
Well, that's what they want, and
it hurts. It hurts me because I don't want to be lumped in like that. I'm offended by that.
Yeah, majority of people are.
There's also reverse racial, feelings, and ever since I was little, we got called cracker and white bread, and you can't say anything.
Of course not.
No, and the thing is because of something that happened 200 years ago, and I feel bad. I just, there's nothing we can do about that. But I'm offended by being lumped in with racist people just because I'm white. And, we all had choices. We didn't have money growing up, and we made choices and we made decisions. So anyway, it's a whole theoretical conversation, but
yeah,
I don't know. So,
what else do you have?
The 1880s.
Yeah.
Yes, it does feel like it. All right, let me share my screen.
I want some. Ooh, you have some juicy gossip?
Here's a juicy. So Pelosi's laptop was taken on the play date back in January.
Yes.
And nobody knows where it is. Well, this person, Marilyn Huber, who lives in Alaska at the Homer Inn and Spa in Homer, Alaska, that she owns, she and her husband were actually in DC on vacation, and they happened to go to the rally, but they didn't go to the Capitol that day. But apparently she looks similar to a person of interest in the confiscation of Pelosi's laptop. And so federal agents broke into her Homer Inn and Spa and handcuffed them and all the guests during a search that lasted several hours. And they say to her, well, you probably know why we're here for. And she's like, no, I have no idea. And she actually had really good humor through this. She thought it was funny that they would tie her to somebody who was seen in the Capitol. And she did look similar, but when they pulled out all the pictures, they could see that it clearly wasn't her. But her main point was that she'd heard that a laptop had been stolen, but didn't know if it was rumor. But she said this confirms that Pelosi's laptop was taken.
Oh, yeah. So that's very interesting.
Here's what they're saying, that the laptop contained PowerPoint presentations.
Yeah, right. They were communicating. They were actively communicating with the C government.
Pelosi spokesperson said the laptop was used only for presentations. There wasn't anything on that.
Give me a break.
That they're not looking for, So it is confirmed that her laptop was taken, and they're looking for someone.
They want them back. They're never going to get them back.
So here's Mr. Sexy. I like to think of him as Mr.
Oh,
Sexy.
Gag me with a spoon.
All those sexy pictures of him in front of mirrors.
Disgusting.
Crack pipes, hookers.
You're gross.
I'm gross. Mr. Sexy. That way they won't ban me for calling him Mr. Sexy. So cute. I want to kiss his teeth.
Gross.
So
you obviously live in Oklahoma. You need to stay there because you like. No, I'm kidding. I'm not bagging on Oklahoma. You're just gross. Are you frozen? She's frozen. Look, guys, she's freaking frozen. Oh my goodness. You need to get that internet checked in there. All right. Well, let's see how long this is going to last. So let's read the article. President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, still owns stake in. Oh, of course he does. But at least it's on. It's starting to come out. Oh, goodness gracious. Look at it. So how's everyone doing? Oh, is she back? No, maybe she is. Maybe she isn't. What is she doing? So, Aaron, how do you know all of your good gossip? Because it seems like you're very knowledgeable when it comes to a lot of stuff. I'm just curious what your background is. So when you get a chance, put it in the chat.
Oh, I'm back. Oh my gosh.
Here she comes.
This is what happens when I talk about Mr. Sexy. So
okay, what the heck happened?
I don't know. I'm telling you, there's people outside in my yard from
YouTube people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, Mr. Sexy, when Mr. B was campaigning, part of the whole thing was Mr. Sexy's, interest in Chinese companies. And Mr. B promised that he was going to have his son, disentangle themselves from the company. Well, he still has his share in whatever company it was. Nothing has changed. And the press secretary was asked about it. And she said that she's aware that it takes time to disentangle someone from, owning a share of a company. No, you sell it. You just sell it.
Yeah.
And maybe do some paperwork. It doesn't take forever. So anyway, supposedly Mr. Sexy still has shares in the company. So what's Aaron saying?
Well, so while you were gone, you were frozen like this for like.
Because he's sexy.
You were frozen. I just asked Aaron. I was talking to the audience. I was asking Audie what his. I was just curious what his background was because he has really good input, and I really admire that.
Really smart.
So I researched finance manager and car business. Oh, nice. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming. We really appreciate you, Aaron and Melinda.
His sexy, Mr. Sexy. I like calling him Mr. because he's so repulsive. It's disgusting.
So, yeah. Oh, boy. So does Nana have anything to say?
No, not today.
No?
No.
Nana, did you like the show tonight?
Yes.
She's a big fan. So wave at everybody. She is. She's a crackpot. Look at her. She's a ball buster.
She's a good Nana. I love Nana.
She's a ball buster.
All right. So that's all I had today.
That's all I have too.
Nothing earth shattering, I guess. But I guess that the good news is the Arizona audit is continuing. And that gives me so much hope. It gives me so much hope.
I have faith because you know what? It's proof in the pudding, forensic, and I believe they can take that show on the road.
And rumor has it, now this is from Charlie Ward, so.
Yeah.
But supposedly, what they've gone through to date, they've identified over 250,000 fraudulent. I mean, there's ballots that have no creases on them.
Oh my God.
I mean, mail-in ballots, no creases.
I mean, it's I have no words.
It's insanity.
Where's my freaking hat?
Oh no, don't do it. We're okay. You know what? We're going to say goodbye. We're going to, sign off.
My crazy hat. I can't take it.
I know, but this is good news.
It's very good news. We love you guys. We love you. Thank you.
Something that I'm going to talk about is that before Biden gave his speech the other day, they said, don't listen to what he says, listen to what he doesn't say.
Listen to what he doesn't say.
Yeah, and he did not mention the border at all.
Oh. See, I didn't listen to it. No, I didn't. I couldn't.
He could hardly talk, and he was up. He can't talk. Anyway, I mean, I talk better than he does, and that's not saying much. No, I'm telling you, he didn't say a word about it.
I believe it.
And America, we're just all wonderful and everything is fine. And then you see all these people, these mothers carrying their children and all their
it's horrible
luggage and everything.
It's a humanitarian crisis.
It's terrible. It's horrible. And he doesn't say a thing about it. They don't mention it. Now, what's going on? Why can't
we don't know.
Why can't the good people
it's
go down
evil
there and do something?
We're being ruled by evil.
No, but the thing is, for all we know, some of those people will be our neighbors and we won't know it.
Well, I can tell you really quick that there are a ton of charities that are looking for fosters for these children. I can tell you
that's nice.
Some
That's
ads.
good.
We're looking for people who can take in kids. So if anybody is so really quick, some housekeeping. Honey Badger is going to be on the road for a few days. So I'm probably going to go solo tomorrow. And I think Monday I'm going to have General Ralph on.
Oh, good.
From history. And then maybe Wednesday, Honey Badger might be back.
Yeah, I'll be back Wednesday.
Okay, great. So we love Nebraska. We are from Iowa originally. And we have family from Columbus, Nebraska, Aaron.
Oh, I love Nebraska too. We used to spend several summers in Columbus, Nebraska when we were growing up. Our great grandmother had a farm out there, so we love Nebraska.
Well, we love you all. We thank you so much. We're going to sign off.
Yes, let's sign off. You do the sign off.
Okay.
Road Ranger.
Well, I'm going to be sincere because we're going to pray for the military. We're going to pray for the kids. And we're going to pray for our president, 45th President Trump. Columbus is 100 miles. We love you all. Have a good night, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.